Hello, Michael again, and in this training video we're going to talk about post categories and how to set them up. We'll talk about how to actually assign them in the writing a post video, but right here I want to talk about setting up your categories and some suggestions for what categories to set up and why they're used. At the moment we're looking here at the test blog, and as you can see I have a couple of posts. I'm going to scroll on down here just a little bit. You'll see that this one says posted in uncategorized. Let me scroll down a little further. This one says posted in uncategorized. And I have a categories widget over here in my sidebar, and everything is listed as uncategorized. At a minimum, you can probably guess that categorizing everything as uncategorized is not really a great option. What categories allows you to do is to group your posts into categories of your choosing, such as library news, new materials, events. You could do adults, teens, and kids, whatever categories you want. Now, I don't suggest you set up too many categories, maybe 5 or 6 at the outside, but think about how you might want to categorize your blog post. Once you come up with those categories, the idea is that your users can come to your site, read the new posts across the top or on the blog itself, but then say maybe they just want to see the posts about events, or they just want to see the posts about new materials. This is then where the categories come in, so that when a user clicks on new materials or the events category, they get only the blog posts related to that category. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to set these categories up. And this is something you kind of want to do more or less up front before you start writing a lot of posts, or at a minimum, if you've already written some posts, you want to go back and set these up. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch back to our dashboard here. I've opened up the posts menu, and I'm going to go ahead and select categories. Now, I will also mention here that there is a tagging option available to you. As you can see here, we have post tags. At this time, we're not recommending that you use tags. They can get a little messy, a little quick, without some really solid understanding of the concept of tagging. So, like I said, right now we're just recommending categories. So as soon as I can get the categories page to actually come up, I will move along and show you how you can set those up. Okay. I think I'm going to try here just a little trick because I was on the categories page before, so I'm going to get back to it that way. Okay. There's probably more here than you actually need, so I'm just going to show you real quick. Now, the first one is, you'll notice uncategorized is here, and like with most of the other interfaces in WordPress, you can then edit or quick edit those things. So let's say we're going to do a category for events, a category for new materials, and a category for library news. Okay, so we'll just set up 3 basic categories. As I mentioned already, you might want to do a little more. So I'm going to go ahead and type in a category called events. And this slug here is something to do with the back end of WordPress and how it actually organizes things in the database that's underlying all of this. You really do not need to change that at all. You can put in a description if you want, so I'll real quick here just say posts relating to library events. This is really only going to show up in the back end. This is not necessarily something that your users are going to see. Then you can also actually create subcategories. So you can say create a category called new materials, and then subcategories called media, books, audio, that sort of thing. And so let's say you wanted to, for example, create video, audio, and books under new media. You would create a new media category. You would then create the audio category and select new media as its parent. Okay, and that's going to kind of affect how things are displayed on the screen on your blog. It'll create nested categories. Really, at this point, you can experiment with that, but all we're pretty much encouraging is some basic high-level categories. So I've created events. I put in a little description here. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down just a little further, and then we have Add New Categories. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Add New Category, and you now see we have events, and here is our description. So then I also said we were going to do news, and we'll go ahead and we'll skip the description in this case, and we'll create that category. And then, what was my third one? New materials. Okay, and add that new category. And as you can see here, we're adding to our list. The list gets longer, the newer ones up at the top. Now, at this point, you do have a couple of other options. Notice uncategorized is always there. You cannot get rid of them. You can edit them or quick edit them or delete them. One thing I want to point out under quick edit, which is kind of useful, is that you can just very easily here change the name. And again, as I said, we're not playing around with the slug. And that's what you can do with quick edit. Go ahead and cancel that. If I go ahead and actually do edit, what this is going to do is it's going to bring up a little more of a larger page. Again, you can change the name, you can change the slug, you can change the parent, and you can add a description here if you want. You make those changes and you just click update. So that's how you create your categories. Once you've created your categories, then whenever you add a new post to your blog, you're going to have an option on that screen for choosing which category it goes into. And so you can just go ahead and choose which category that particular new post goes into and then publish your post. And we'll have more details on that in the video regarding writing of posts. So as always, if you have any questions, just go ahead and leave a comment on the post for this video, and I'll be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching.